Do-do-do-sh, the James Bond Book Club. Today on the James Bond Book Club, a bookmark. Today's pairing, Ian Fleming's scrambled eggs. Pause here for a recipe. The name's Book Club, the James Bond Book Club. I'm Tom Stewart of Lonesome Whistle Productions. Today, our first bookmark episode, a month-long repose between sittings while we recruit new members. Of course, we remain in the Teresa de Vincenzo Memorial Library. There's a photo from her service. It's the only library in the world that receives equal funding from both the British government and the Italian mafia. After months of Vespers, gin and tonics, and horses' necks, we're going to need something to line our stomachs. Since we're premiering this episode in a Sunday brunch time slot, I decided to make some eggs. Not just any eggs. Scrambled eggs. And not just any scrambled eggs, but Ian Fleming's scrambled eggs. I can't believe it's got butter. The recipe can be found in the short story 007 in New York, first published in the New York Herald Tribune in 1963, and later collected in the anthology Octopussy after 2002. It's also in this omnibus Quantum of Solace collection of the Ian Fleming Bond short stories. Being a Fleming recipe, alcohol is never far away, and I've taken the author's pairing suggestion of pink champagne and low music. Here's the pink champagne. Hear the low music? No? Good. Then it must be at a suitable volume. Oh, what a brute. A brief word on the story itself. It's clearly a piece of travel nonfiction disguised as a James Bond short story. It was written during Ian Fleming's trip to New York for his travelogue collection, Thrilling Cities, which this story appeared in later editions of. As tenuous as the character and espionage connections are in the story, Fleming's thematic preoccupation with scrambled eggs, as I allow myself another bite, the consistency is more like marmalade. Also, Ian Fleming's latent lactose skepticism and fastidious attitude to food preparation, of someone who's just spent 10 minutes whisking eggs will attest to, is at the heart of all his James Bond books and short stories. Even the recipe is embedded in James Bond literary lore. It comes from housekeeper May Maxwell, who Ian Fleming named, and quite possibly based, James Bond's Scottish housekeeper May on in several of the books. What about the recipe itself? Well, it contains an inhuman amount of butter, which is added throughout the cooking from nose to tail, as it were. You're even supposed to butter the toast, which you serve a meal that's already 75% butter on. It's another trait that Ian Fleming shares with Paula Deen, in addition to vociferous racism. In the story, Bond tutors the chef at the Plaza Hotel how to cook eggs without using milk, and the recipe is dutifully egg forward, allowing only for a late substitution of cream instead of a final piece of butter. If I finish this episode without egg on my face, in the literal, not figurative sense, it'll be a miracle. Tatin de Champagne is specified, a brand notably unavailable to Brits of the era, and certain choices, such as copper plates, are made for appearances only, without any culinary rationale. A bookmark gives you a chance to reflect on what's been read and what's left to read. This episode is no different. So far, we've read 3 books, 2 novels, and 1 short story anthology. Of the past 3 meetings, we've covered the first and technically last James Bond books written by Ian Fleming, Casino Royale and Octopussy, as well as one of his greatest literary experiments, The Spy Who Loved Me. Fleming originated Bond, but he was by no means the only author to write James Bond books. In our next few meetings, we'll venture outside the Fleming canon and look at what other writers did with the character of Bond, beginning with Colonel's Son, the first Bond novel written after Ian Fleming's death. Thanks to our current membership, which consists of Michael Shantz, Vanessa Dinning, and Laura Preble. If you want to read along and tell us what you thought of the books and the stories we're reading, or anything related to James Bond books, please tweet us at Lonesome Whistle 3 or at Lonesome Whistle Productions using the hashtag the James Bond Book Club, not at. That's just my generation. Tell us what you think we should be reading next. There might be something that we missed. Use that hashtag to catch our attention on Facebook and Instagram, where Lonesome Whistle Productions also has social media accounts. Otherwise, you can find us by subscribing to Lonesome Whistle Productions on YouTube. Our meetings or bookmarks like this will go up monthly on the 15th, and you can see all our videos in a dedicated James Bond Book Club playlist on the channel. As sure as Ian Fleming's scrambled eggs are Ian Fleming's scrambled eggs, it's really more of a spread. The James Bond Book Club will return.